My life force was just spent to get money for funds to gamble, and I was just digging a deeper and deeper hole. And I remember I went on the internet, played online poker when I was 32, when it first sort of came out, exploded onto the scene. And I played it only once, and in that night I lost £10,000. I just stood up and I collapsed, and I was crying uncontrollably, and I could see myself for what I was for the first time, somebody who had absolutely no control where gambling was concerned. And that was the start of when I had to finally admit to myself for the first time ever that I had a problem with gambling.
The public perception has always been, well, okay, drugs are serious, alcohol is serious, but gambling is not a serious addiction. Gambling is a serious addiction. It can damage a person over a long period of time, and it can damage very heavily.
When somebody's suffering from problem gambling, the gambling has taken over their life. Gambling addiction can impact on people's home life, they can impact on their work environment, their productivity, and they can also impact on their capacity to be good parents.
So it becomes absolutely exhausting, it becomes draining, you suffer from panic attacks, anxiety attacks. What you think, because there's no ingestion of substances, you think that there's no physical, but there is. When you feel so worthless and you've got absolutely no control of your behaviour, well, suicidal thoughts, that's a regular occurrence. You almost, at times, you just want it all to end.
The financial pressures that problem gambling puts on people often leads them to have to behave in ways they would never have thought possible in the past. And you see morally upright people ending up taking money in illegal ways from their relatives or from their employers.
The thing with gambling is so socially acceptable. You actually feel that what you're doing is completely harmless. When you are in the grips of a gambling addiction, you don't even know it because you're in complete denial.
With virtually every gambler that we've seen over the years, there is a low self-esteem, which is one of the reasons, again, why people gamble. Because when you gamble, you feel good, but when you lose and you feel low again, your self-esteem plummets.
Winning and losing become immaterial. You just want to keep that feeling going. So you just want to keep on placing bets. You want to stay in the action. You want to keep this excitement. Because once you stop, even if you've won, you come way down. Nobody wants to come down.
We need two ways of treating it. It's important to be able to understand the reasons why a person gambles, but it's also important to change their behaviour.
There are different ways in which gambling is treated, but the latest research shows that cognitive behavioural therapy is the most effective way to treat people.
I was starting to find ways of how I could overcome problem gambling. I started to learn about gambling addiction, why I'd become addicted, and sort of that knowledge became powerful. I became more aware of what was happening.
If anybody does think either that they've got a gambling problem or they know someone who has, it's important to check it out. It's important to talk to professionals about it.
It leaves a massive void in your life because gambling was your life. So as soon as that's gone, that's when you're very vulnerable.
Organisations like GamCare, we actually run a national helpline, which a person can actually call and just talk to one of the counsellors on the helpline and just say, well, what is actually going on here? They'll get support.
If somebody feels they have a problem with the gambling and it has become problematic, then the best way to access help would be to go to their GP.
I no longer see a chance to win lots of money or to have control in an area of my life because I don't have control in other areas of my life. I don't feel as worthless. I feel more in control. It's just so uplifting and I just feel so much richer for it. Feels great.
For more information, visit www.nhs.uk.